Okay. What's going on, everybody? Hey, Chad. It's Chad's here.
I misarticulated Chad.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you. If we're shouting, I apologize. This is the first time that I've ever done this from a phone. So, yeah. I got my stick thing I'm holding it with. We're here with Rob McCallum, also known as
Rob.
Rob. We call him Big Rob. Big Rob.
Big Papa.
We got the crew. We'll show the crew in a little bit here. We're in our production van on the way to somewhere.
Yeah, east of Toronto. Pickering. Small town east of Toronto. We're a little game hunting today.
Yeah, our second day. Hey Mo, what's going on, buddy? Matt's here. Good to see you, dude. Good morning. I know it's a Tuesday. It's a little weird for everybody, but hey, it's a beautiful day here. So we're going to talk to Rob. I'm always on Rob's channel, and with our old podcast, he's always asking me questions. So I thought it would be fun if I threw him, get Mr. McAloo here. So let's do that. Get out here.
I want to know what's in your little bag down here. Look at all this junk food. You got your water.
Well, you need water to live.
You got muffin bars, butter bars. You got loop. No, don't worry about that.
Life on the road.
Wet ones.
Life on the road.
Wet ones. Terms. As a callback.
Out of all the wacky adventures that we have done on film, what is one of your favorite moments being behind the camera?
When we saw Kiss, when we stayed at the Royal York and we filmed that experience, and we were up till late at night pranking our friends and having fun.
Yes, that was good.
Oh, you mean like
I was talking professionally.
Oh, professional. Hey, well, we don't get to the pro stuff until we have fun and games with our cameras and our antics and our shenanigans.
Okay.
And clearly, not much has changed.
Well, Chad's in the chat. Chad is the current drummer in Kiss. To the antics of Paul and Gene more than we can, but we've seen
Sure.
Kiss a few times. But let's talk Nintendo Quest, action figure adventure, and this thing
N64 Quest.
that we're doing.
I feel that we've done more than just Nintendo Quest and AFA. Doesn't it? Like,
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
it feel like we've done just two things?
In 10 years? Gotta pump those numbers up. That's rookie numbers, boys. It's rookie numbers.
Yeah. I mean, we've done some podcasts.
Okay, well, let's talk about where it all started with the video camera. At least let's start with you, and we'll get into where I came into the picture. Where did you, or why did you first pick up a video camera? What was it that you loved about film that you wanted to create your own?
I've always been fascinated with movie cameras and handy cams as a kid. And then there was an opportunity to not have to read a story in one of my high school classes in front of the class. And I had the opportunity to make a movie of it instead of just read the story aloud. I thought that would be far more entertaining for everybody. And it kind of grew from there.
And what was the first movie that you did?
It was an Evil Dead parody. Actually, the very first 3 short films I did were all Evil Dead parodies, and they were all in French.
I remember that. I still haven't seen that.
What are you looking for?
Can you hold this for a second? I can't see the chat. I'm blind.
Okay. Anyways, I'm taking over. So yeah, a big fan of Evil Dead, and then there was we decided to make some stuff in English as well, because our French audience is limited, and that's when this guy got involved.
Yeah. So I've yet to see that Evil Dead one. So let's talk about the Dazed and Confused Mallrats movie that you did.
Yeah, Return for a Refund.
Return for Refund. Wait, okay, that would have been 97?
Yeah, 96,
1997?
97, 98, somewhere in there.
And this was your first, this was before the Evil Dead stuff, wasn't it?
No, it was after.
Really?
Yeah. But it was in English. It was a whole different difficulty curve.
So Return to Sender was about a guy who was
Return for Refund.
Return for Refund was about a guy who was down on his luck, right? He was dumped by his girlfriend, if I remember correctly, something like that.
You know, I honestly don't remember too much about it. I just remember everybody's trying to get to the big party. He's not sure if his significant other's going to show up. And then basically all our favorite pop culture lines at the time, stolen from every movie, thrown in there, loosely together, cobbled together for its own unoriginal plot.
Yeah, there's lots of lines.
Lots of lines.
Chad says, "Do it, Doug." I think that was in there at some point, wasn't it?
I don't think it was.
This is one. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on? Yeah, I'm trying to hold the camera as steady as I can, dude. Good to see you. Good morning. Okay, Return. I had a little small part in that.
Yeah.
Now, it's really amazing that you and I are working together, because if we remember,
I agree.
We remember that shoot, and we couldn't stop laughing.
This is the problem with us.
Yeah, we couldn't stop laughing.
We enjoy comedy, and more than anything, and it's funny because I had this talk with my son the other day. I love making people laugh. It doesn't matter how they laugh. I love making people laugh, and I sat my son down at the table because he's starting to really develop a sense of humor. And I said, Harrison, here's the rule: if you think it's funny, say it. I said, not everybody's going to think it's funny, and a lot of people might get upset or offended.
Right.
But if you think it's funny,
Right.
then you need to say it. And so this is the basis for so much of our relationship, because I will say things to you just to get you to laugh, even if nobody else understands. Because once you start laughing, I start laughing, and then we have to keep upping it.
We were outside of a store yesterday, actually, and we were just kind of doing the closing interview, and he started making me laugh.
But I didn't even say anything.
And I said, "Don't make me laugh, because then it's over if you make me laugh."
Okay, I won't.
You still make.
No, I don't do it.
Kept making me
No, I
laugh.
don't do it.
Chad says we should go south to Albuquerque.
Yeah, you know, I'm not allowed in the state of Albuquerque anymore.
Matt says, I don't know whether to ask if Jay is the one driving. No.
No, and this is Jay's pseudo car rant.
Yeah, this is my bootleg car rant. We're gonna go up a little bit, and you'll see the front. There we go. There's everybody there. So that's Nathan and Ryan, and then we got Mike Patton in the back, aka Dave. There we go. So no, I'm not driving. Can you squeeze in a little bit? Just a little bit.
There
we go. Yeah. So if you guys got any questions for Rob, throw it out there, because I feel like he's always interviewing me, and I want to ask him some questions now. Where did the idea of Nintendo Quest come from?
Well, if we're going down the timeline of how we work together, you're missing one big glaring omission. That's fanboys.
No, I'm doing the interview though.
Okay.
We can't do this all day, so.
Okay. 'Cause that was our first documentary project together. It seemed kind of relevant.
Duke Sir says we looks like we're in a clown car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did the idea for Nintendo Quest come from?
I don't totally remember like the official origin of it. You were really into game hunting and like going out of town for games, and we were talking about what could we do that might be fun, and I had just wrapped a film called Unearthly. It was a nightmare to shoot. It was a narrative very much like Indiana Jones Jurassic Park, but on like a $20,000 budget.
Yes.
And it did not live up to my vision for 1.5 million reasons, but a documentary seemed something feasible that I could put together with cameras and a crew, and we could do something. And you know, you always film what you love. You were into game hunting. I've always been into games. What about something on Nintendo? Well, what could it be? And then you started talking about like how you're trying to hunt down specific games, and how your goal of all of this was to have a complete set. So if you could walk into a room, you could just pick any game in there, know that you had all of them, and never have an omission. So like, well, let's just do it. Why not? And I kind of dared you to do it, but I only had 30 days to shoot because it costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time. So let's see what you can do. If this is your dream to have a whole set, take 30 days of your life and see if you can achieve a dream. And that was Nintendo Quest.
Yeah, I remember something about I think one of the first versions of it was you were gonna follow around 3 collectors, right? During their like daily or weekly routines. Like one was like gonna be like a toy guy, one was gonna be like a comic guy, and you were gonna kind of see what their routine was like, and then that died out pretty quick because it was just too much. It just wouldn't have been focused enough.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
What I remember in Nintendo Quest being there was going to be other people in the gaming community that weren't just collectors. It was going to be not just so collector focused.
Right.
There was going to be some history people that are doing a lot to like spread history. There was going to be some competitive gamers in there. But then that became too much to try to focus on and be in 3 places at once to tell that whole story. And it felt like there was enough story just to follow your mission and talk about the legacy of the NES.
Chat says one of the most memorable things that's kind of like Rocky Balboa is the 30-day challenge. Yeah. This one, yeah, we're doing it in half the time.
Less than half.
Yeah. So we're just doing, what, 14 days?
14 days. Everybody's been asking on our thread, so how is this one different? What's up with YN64? All the big questions. I don't have anything to hide. But, you know, we originally were going to do 30 days. Even some of our promo art for N64 Quest is 30 days on it. But then I just started thinking, it's like we got to up the ante a little bit because there's half as many games. There's significantly more game stores.
Yeah.
So it should balance out. And, you know, anytime you can ratchet up the clock, you know, put a ticking clock on something, it always breeds a little bit of conflict. So we're day 2 right now. We're feeling still probably pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it was rough to shake the rust off, at least for myself, to get back into that mode again. But once we got past the first story, I think it was pretty good. Kyle, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Yeah, I think it went pretty good yesterday. So today we got 3 or 4 stores, I think. We're en route now. Less stress than Super Nintendo Quest. Yeah, so that's a great comment, Chad. Hang on one sec. Do you have a set budget?
Yeah, you do. And
We do.
you'll see the budget in this series, so that's again another differentiator from Nintendo Quest. A lot of people raised issue with the Nintendo Quest that we didn't divulge what Jay's budget was, and I always said, you know, it's not about the money and you can't put a price on a dream. Of course, he's got to work within that, and I think over time it makes that film better. This case, we're trying to raise money for the Alzheimer's Society. So Jay's going after a complete set, and then we'll raffle it off, and you can buy raffle tickets to get a game, a random game in your name, and then that money goes to charity. So because Jay's fronting the cash like Action Figure Adventure, the economics are a little bit more in the forefront. It's not about Jay putting something on his shelf. It's about raising money for Alzheimer's Society.
Yeah, it's something that we both believe in. We're both very much touched by it, so yeah, we decided to change up the charity
and the raffle too, right? That was the clincher, because we could go after any system, we could go after any potential quest and arrange it, but is it going to be an auction like Action Figure Adventure was? Well, if you're going to go after a complete set of video games, there's always going to be so many commons, right? And nobody's going to want to pay like more than the value, if that, for something like Quarterback Club, which is like, you know, a $5 game.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you put the $5 forward to get it, somebody gives us $5 for it, Alzheimer's Society gets nothing. But if people buy, you know, like a $20 raffle ticket, then instantly that goes towards that, you know. So the goal for us is to have enough raffle tickets sold.
Yeah, and you get a piece of the quest, which I think is super fun. Regardless of what game it is, it'll all be random, but I think that's great. There's 296. Yes, Jeremy. So yeah, but as we're finding out, again, we can't give anything away just yet. The lesser number doesn't mean it's any easier. That's for sure.
No, or cheaper. I mean, game prices have inflated big time. The rare ones are still rare, sometimes for weird reasons, and the common ones are plentiful, but not always in the stores that we're going to.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting close to our destination, guys, so we're going to sign off for now, but we're going to do a bunch more of these this week as we're filming the first part of Nintendo 64 Quest. Thanks very much, guys, for hanging out. Morning coffee, we'll call this morning coffee. Miss you all. I'll be back to my regular streaming on Saturday. Rob and Callum.
Cheers.
Take care, guys.